What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and when Gypsy Rose got out of prison, social media went crazy. She automatically got like this superstar, celebrity treatment, but I told you all from day one that this wasn't going to end well. And let's be honest, it's kind of been a train wreck so far. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a fast freight train moving at hundreds of miles per hour, slamming into a car. No, it's more like a slow train that hits a car, but it just keeps chugging along the tracks as it drags the car along the way. That's how I would describe this situation. Because, within the first few days of this woman getting out of jail for killing her mom, she already hatched this wild plan to meet Taylor Swift at a football game. And then she winded up getting kicked out of the entire state for riding around, taking selfies, causing all of this ruckus with camera crews following her. So they kicked her out of an entire state. And now she's been under fire for like the past week because she was trying to hook random strangers. Like, she literally reached out to strangers on the internet trying to hook them up with her underage nephew. So then we got to see a bunch of weird grown adults typing weird, creepy things to like her 14 or 15-year-old nephew. So she's been under fire for that. And one thing that I've realized is that a lot of people got caught up in the hype. When Gypsy Rose got out of jail, everyone was caught up in the hype. A lot of people who don't even really know her story. So for some people, monkey see, monkey do, they followed up with the internet, yay, Gypsy Rose is out. But after a couple of days, they started watching documentaries. They started doing some research. And then they realized, oh wait, is this the person that I should be praising right now? Because a lot of people don't know the ins and outs. A lot of people don't know the details about this case. They just saw social media going crazy. They know that, Gypsy was mistreated by her mother, but they don't know the whole story. A lot of people don't know that Gypsy Rose was dressing up as comic book characters and having phone sex while basically fantasizing about killing her mom. A lot of people don't know details like that, okay? But once people started learning, people immediately were like, okay, wait, they started changing their mind. And you see, I already knew that just give it some time. Because everyone loved Gypsy for a few days, right? When she was going on her press tour and she was promoting all of these new documentaries and interviews and talk shows, people loved it. People were eating it up. But I knew that once Gypsy Rose actually talked, that it was only a matter of time before she dug herself into an even deeper hole, before she backed herself into a corner, before she said the wrong thing. And the internet will turn on you at a drop of a dime. And it's already turned on Gypsy Rose. And I knew it was coming. It's not like it was hard to see this one coming from a mile away. Now, don't get me wrong. When Gypsy Rose first got out of jail, I wanted what was best for her. And what's best for her is for her to just fall off the map, stay out of the public eye, and try to live as normal of a life as possible. Now, there are conversations that could be had. Does Gypsy still belong in jail? A lot of people think so, and I wouldn't necessarily argue with you about that. So there's a lot of conversations to be had here. But, I'm no big Gypsy Rose fan. My default setting inside of my soul, it just makes me hope for the best for everyone. And I hope that most people are like that. Like, regardless of your situation, usually I want what's best for people. Unless maybe you're my enemy or something. So I wanted what was best for Gypsy Rose. But it became apparent that Gypsy Rose didn't want what was best for Gypsy Rose. That Gypsy Rose wanted to capitalize off of this situation. That Gypsy Rose wanted the limelight. She didn't want to get out of prison and try to go, live a normal life, do normal things. No, she wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be meeting Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian. She wants to be the social media influencer. So that's something that I had to quickly realize. You can sit here and you can blame the internet, you can blame social media, you can blame these internet companies or these entertainment outlets or whatever. But the reality is, I've looked into the situation, and Gypsy Rose has been behind all of this. It looks to me like Gypsy Rose has had some type of media training. And it was obvious, if you go back on her social media before she even got out of prison, that they were already starting this marketing scheme to market Gypsy Rose as the next big reality star, the next big social media influencer celebrity. There was already a push. They were already advertising new books and new shows and new stuff before she even set foot out of prison. So this isn't something that just happened overnight. It's not like she stepped out of jail and then all of these media companies swooped in. No, conversations were already being had. Deals were already being made. She was already signing her name on dotted lines from prison. So everything that you're seeing with Gypsy right now, it's part of her own doing. It's not, everyone's taking advantage of Gypsy. No. Gypsy is taking advantage of everyone else. Gypsy is the master manipulator in this situation. Gypsy is manipulating everyone into feeling bad for her, which, I understand feeling bad for Gypsy. I felt bad for her too at first, but that's what she wants. She's manipulating everyone to feel bad for her. She's trying to erase the reality of what she did and what part she played and what happened to her mother. And she thinks that she can just come out here and be the next celebrity superstar as if her past is just going to be completely forgotten. So everyone thinks that people are manipulating Gypsy. No, Gypsy is playing everyone like a fiddle, and she is cashing in on this situation. She is walking straight to the bank. And even though I wish the best for Gypsy, or at least I did, I told you all very early on that I have a very huge problem with the way our society props up people like this. Gypsy Rose is not a role model. Gypsy Rose shouldn't be on every talk show, on the cover of every magazine. Gypsy Rose should have got out of prison. People could have put in their 2 cents, and then we should have never heard about this woman again. But instead, she's blasted in front of our faces 24/7. I've seen Gypsy Rose more in the last 2 weeks than I have seen our Vice President Kamala Harris in the entirety of the last 3.5 years that she's been in office. Isn't that crazy? Why is that? Why have I seen Gypsy Rose more in the last 2 weeks than I've seen our own Vice President? But no matter how much media training Gypsy Rose has had, and it's clear that she's had training on how to conduct herself in interviews, regardless of how much training she's had, she still has the mentality of a child. So it's only a matter of time before she says something stupid. And I know how the internet works. Look, the internet, it doesn't matter how much the internet claims they love you. They're always sitting there, patiently waiting for you to say something stupid, for you to say something wrong, so they can try to cancel you, so they can try to smear your name, drag your name through the mud, right? Even me, with a much smaller platform than Gypsy Rose, even though I would argue that my platform, anybody's platform that you're watching, should be bigger than Gypsy Rose's if they didn't kill their mom. But hey, if you kill your mom, you get 8 million followers. That's how America works. But anyways, even people who watch my channel, not everyone, I have a certain portion of people watching this video right now. They're not watching it for entertainment. They're watching hoping that I say something wrong, that I say something stupid or controversial, so they can go cry and complain about it and make videos about it and try to cancel me on social media. That's how the internet works. So I knew it was only a matter of time before Gypsy said something. And boy, oh boy, she's already said a whole lot. In fact, there was one thing that she said that I believe caused a lot of people to turn on her. And it caused me to just throw out any sympathy that I had for this woman. And don't get me wrong, I had a lot of sympathy for her when she got out. But once I realized that she was one of the main driving factors behind this new push to superstardom, I really stopped caring as much. And after seeing this clip right here that I'm about to play, most of my sympathy, if not all of it, kind of went out the window, because it's clear that she hasn't learned anything. It doesn't seem like she regrets what she's done. If anything, she's just so thirsty and ready to become famous that she just doesn't care about anything that she did in the past. So without further ado, I'm going to roll this clip really quickly. But first, I need a huge favor. I need you all to hit the like button. I need you all to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to roll this clip, and then I'm going to be back with more thoughts.
I don't associate myself as a murderer, because if you think about it, yes, I had a part to play in it. I asked Nick for help. And how that conversation started was, he was saying that he would protect me from anyone. I said anyone. He said yes. I said even my mother. He said yes. And then the plan kind of formed from there. But he's the one that did the actual kill, not me. I can't kill anyone. That's why he's in trouble to begin with, because he's the one that did it. So when they say I'm a murderer, I don't identify as that.
So even though Gypsy Rose has been in prison for 8 years, it's clear to me that she's been paying attention to the outside society. Using words like, I don't identify, right? I don't identify as a murderer. Well, bitch, you are a murderer. Yes, Gypsy Rose is a murderer. And if you have something to say about that, first, ask yourself this question. If someone plotted and schemed to kill one of your kids or one of your loved ones, and maybe they didn't pull the trigger, maybe they weren't the ones stabbing with the knife, but if they planned it and they got someone else to do it, would you view them as a murderer? Would you view the situation like they had just as much to do with your loved one's death as the person they talked into doing it? I know I sure would. But watching this clip, I believe this clip is going to be one of the nails in the coffin for Gypsy Rose. Because you're going to have your weirdos that are all excited about her regardless. But most rational people, they're going to see this clip and they're going to realize, oh, she's not taking any accountability for what went on. She totally just throws Nick under the bus. Nick's the murderer. Nick's the killer, not me. I didn't do anything. All I did is manipulate Nick into doing this. Because one thing people have to understand, I feel terrible for what happened to Gypsy. Obviously, her mother was an evil master manipulator. But guess what? Guess who is just as good at manipulating? Gypsy Rose. She learned it from the best. And instead of breaking out of that cycle, no, she resorted to doing the same thing her mother did. And even now, as Gypsy Rose makes the rounds through all the talk shows, she is still trying to manipulate everyone. In fact, I think she's so good at it that I don't even know if she realizes that she's doing it. And she's so good at it that a lot of people are caught up, and they're caught up in like this mist where they can't see the reality. But for this girl to not only, for one, there's a conversation that could be had that she shouldn't even be out of jail. But to get out of jail and basically take no accountability for what you did, it shows that she regrets nothing. She learned nothing. This woman sat in prison for 8 years for the death of her mother, gets out and immediately tries hatching plans to meet Taylor Swift. She's trying to meet Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian, but she can't even admit the role that she played in what happened to her mom. That shows no growth. Gypsy Rose has no growth as a person. She's out of jail, automatically coming up with master manipulating schemes to get rich and to get famous and to get publicity. Coming up with wild, childlike imaginations of, we got to go to a football game and figure out a way to meet Taylor Swift And then I need to have a meeting with Kim Kardashian. And it's like she's automatically reverting right back to that Gypsy Rose, who is that fake cancer patient with the bald head and the messed up teeth, coming up with fantastical plans to become a Disney princess. We're watching it all play out once again in our faces. And if things have been like this so far, where do you think they go from here? Because, yeah, I think Gypsy Rose loved the attention. But she's not going to love the negative attention. And that's what's already happening. The positive attention that Gypsy Rose was going to get, it's basically over. There was positive attention for a couple of weeks, but the goodwill, it's run dry. All of the fake people who probably don't even know her story, who are hyping it up and making all the memes and going crazy about it, they've moved to the next fad. Now all you have is rational, sane people here looking at the situation, and they're not going to yes queen you. They're going to call things for what it is. And what this is a woman that learned nothing, who takes no accountability for what happens, throws Nick totally under the bus as she grasps for fame and fortune. And honestly, it's disgusting. It's sickening and it's disgusting. There are so many talented people in this world, so many talented people in this country. There are good people all over doing good things. You will never hear anything about them. But this mother killer, we got to get her blasted in our face every day like she's the new role model. She's America's sweetheart. They trotted her around like she's America's sweetheart. No, she is a mentally effed up mother killer who went through some really traumatic stuff. But that's what everyone forgets, is that we have someone who went through trauma that none of us could ever imagine. This is not a celebrity. Oh, you just made a new song. You just made a new movie. No, you just got out of jail for orchestrating the death of your mother. Why? Why has she been treated like this? Why? But if you have an opinion on something, you're a bad person. The media demonizes people for having conflicting opinions. Maybe you vote this way or you vote that way. Maybe you like this candidate. Maybe you like this. Maybe you do that. The media will demonize you, yet it props up people like this as if they're angels. But in reality, the media knows how this goes. The media is going to trot her around as much as they can, get whatever money they can out of the situation, and then they're going to turn TMZ on her and basically follow her around and document her destruction. This is a tale as old as time. They do it with all of the celebrities in Hollywood, and Gypsy Rose is now going to be no different. So I hope everyone enjoyed the first couple of weeks, because from here on out, it's only going to get worse from here. I could honestly rant about this all day, but I'm going to post another video later going over more of my thoughts about this situation and a few other different things that have happened. But for now, I need to hear from you all. I need to hear what you all think about this. Are you still Team Gypsy? Have you changed your mind over the first couple of weeks of her being out of jail? Have these interviews changed your mind at all? Are you still in her corner? How do you feel? It's okay if you disagree. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But while you're down there, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the channel via CashApp. I'll have my CashApp in the pinned comment, or you can donate via Super Thanks, or you can help the channel for free by liking the video, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.